I told them, do not type in the box. Follow with your finger, write it out, write it out, write it out. Don't lose your spot, and then spend some time to type it at the end. So what he did, after the exam, he calls me and goes, mate, you know how you told me not to type in the box? I go, yes. I effed up. I missed 4 words. Hello, everybody. This is Alex back with another video. Today, I'm going to talk about a question that's not commonly talked about here on YouTube. It's about the PTE exam listening section, the listening fill in the blanks. Okay? So a lot of us think that it's just dependent on your spelling. If your spelling is good, you went to school for a long time, you're going to do great. If not, there's no way to improve it. You are stuck. There's nothing you can do. So I'm going to give you 5 common mistakes and how to fix them that every single person makes in this exam in the listening fill in the blank section. And I notice a lot of people lose at least 4 to 5% in their listening and 4 to 5% in their writing from this simple question. And if your spelling is not that strong, you oftentimes lose more. Now, I promise you one thing. If you watch this video to the end, I'm going to give away something very special. I'm going to give away a link where you can download some of the most common listening fill in the blank questions. So let's get started. Tip number 1 is knowing what to capitalize, okay? So oftentimes, even if you get the right word, even if you get the right spelling, but you forgot to capitalize the first letter, you're not getting any partial marks for that blank. So you get 0 out of 2%, meaning you're losing 1 mark in listening and 1 mark in your writing. So what do we capitalize in English? First of all, you have to check if it's a new sentence. And what these guys are doing oftentimes, you might have the blank at the beginning of one line, but there's a little full stop at the end of the previous line. So you have to be conscious and check that if there was a full stop, the word on the next line would be capitalized. Second thing is proper nouns. Australia, Alex, PTE, Sydney, John, India, right? Languages like English and French, those must be capitalized, otherwise you don't get any marks. But please remember, we don't capitalize school subjects. A lot of students I get from the subcon area, from India, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, you guys are taught in your education system to, respect the education system. So oftentimes words like math or geography or history, I see students capitalize, but they're not proper nouns. So please don't do that. You would only capitalize classes like language classes, like French class, English class, and so on and so on. Lastly, there's a couple words that are variable. Sometimes you capitalize them, sometimes you don't, okay? And I'll just give you an example of one word. Let's take the word professor. If I say that Mr. Smith is an excellent professor, okay? The P in professor would be a small p. But if I told you that today's speaker is Professor Smith, because the name is next to it, the word professor always has to be capitalized. So you need to always check before or after if they give you the name of the person or the name of the place. And again, you may see the word Oxford at the end of one line, and we got some flies in the video. And you might have the word university in the next line. So you got to be able to check quickly if the name is given before or after. So that's for mistake number 1, is knowing what to capitalize. Mistake number 2. The most important rule for this question is 1 word, 1 blank. 1 word, 1 blank. And sometimes when we listen to some audios, it sounds like they're saying 2 words, but they never will do that. They will never ever do that. What that could mean is either that the word is written together or it's hyphenated. It's got a little dash in between. So let me give you an example. If I told you that your work and life has to be well balanced, and the word in the blank is the word well balanced, what I'll see students do is write well, space, balanced. That would be wrong. In this situation, the word well balanced would be written with a little dash in between, but you have to make sure that you don't leave any spaces. It has to be well, dash, and right away the word balanced. And there's a lot of other words like that, like the word every day. If you're going to school every day, that would be 2 separate words, which you will never have here. But if this is your everyday routine, every day would be written together. So you have to be really conscious, and you have to know when the word is written together or when it's written with a dash. Mistake number 3 is leaving some blanks empty. Look, it happens, okay? Often in the exam, if the accent is hard or you couldn't understand what they said, you might miss a word. Do not leave it empty. We do a lot of experiments with the PTE mock test and the exams, and it actually varies depending on the country you're in, depending on the software update, so we have to do it quite regularly. But what we notice oftentimes, when students leave one word empty, and even if they get the other 5 correct, the software will oftentimes give them 0 for the whole question. Yes, you heard that right. You will get 0 for the whole question. Again, it depends on the exam, depends on the update, depends on the country, depends on the test center. But do you really want to take this risk? So if you got 5 words correct and 1 you missed completely, write hello, write namaste, write hola, write konnichiwa, whatever you want to write, just don't leave it empty. Or what I would even suggest, to take it one step further, if you kind of heard what the word sounds like, perch, parch, something with P, okay? Check the text, because oftentimes the same word may be repeated again. So one of the words I had in my exam one time was the word perch. They were talking about a fish. But the way the accent came out, perch, parch, potch, I couldn't really understand what they were saying. And when I quickly scanned through the text, I saw the word perching. So when I saw perching, I figured out this must be perch. And in that exam, I ended up getting 19 every section. So I'm guessing that it was the right one, that it worked. Mistake number 4 is timing. Some of you don't spend enough time in this question at all. Some of you spend too long and tend to miss some of the questions at the end. So look, when the audio is done, you're going to have your words written out. You're going to take maybe 10, 15 seconds to type them. You're going to take another 10, 15 seconds to check the grammar, check the spelling. So once the audio finishes, do not spend more than 30 seconds to check your answers and correct them before you move on. You spend longer, you're going to struggle to finish dictations, and you might fail your exam because of that. If you don't check it at all and you just go next, you're going to be making a million spelling mistakes. Mistake number 5 is typing directly in the box. Okay, typing directly in the box. I know you might be sitting there on your computer that you had for years, that you're very used to, and you're thinking, man, my spelling is good. I don't need lessons on spelling. Okay, I can just type in the box directly. Let me tell you a quick story. I had this student from, I won't say where, I don't want to offend anybody. Very nice guy, very intelligent, but a little bit, let's say, overconfident. I told him, do not type in the box. Follow with your finger, write it out. Don't lose your spot, and then spend some time to type it at the end. So what he did, after the exam, he calls me, he goes, mate, you know how you told me not to type in the box? I go, yes. I effed up. I missed 4 words. I was typing in the box, and then I lost my spot, and I clicked tab to jump to the next box. So if you're good with computers, you know tab makes you jump to the next box, right? And he said he didn't jump, and I got panicked, and I didn't know what to do. I lost my space. I missed the last 4 words. I said, congratulations, you just lost 8% in your exam. Foreign listening and foreign writing. Please don't do this ever again. He passed, so he didn't need to take the exam again. A long story short, again, depending on the software update, depending on the exam center, sometimes the tab button works, sometimes it doesn't. So do you really want to take the chance to start your exam and start the question and halfway through realize it doesn't work and then you get stuck? Or you get stuck with your spelling maybe, and you correct your spelling, and then you miss another blank. Like, to me, it happens all the time. If I'm typing and I made a spelling mistake, it's like an instinct to go back and correct it right away. So please follow with your finger, write it out by hand, and then at the end, take the 15, 20 seconds and type it out properly. The last and the most important one, okay, so I saved the last for the end. We often tend to miss S, ED, and ING at the ending of words. Okay, so I really want to stress this point. Even for myself as a native English speaker, if I hear Irish or British or Scottish accents, oftentimes because I'm not in that circle, I'm not that familiar with that accent, I can understand it. But even for myself, I tend to miss S or ED. Okay? The reason why, because oftentimes they don't pronounce it. If you have any British friends, they don't say proper, they say proper. They never put the emphasis on the R. Whereas as a Canadian, as a native speaker, I say proper. So it's easier to understand. Okay, so missing S, ED, ing is very, very common, even for myself. The difference is, if you're a native English speaker and I'm talking to you, and you're talking about something that happened in the past, you say, oh man, the dinner last night was proper and we went out and party and da 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 da. And we went out and party. So you might hear the word party and you focus on the word party, but you're not paying attention on the past tense, which says the word where or went or gone or something like that. So as a final bonus, second bonus, I'm going to attach a short clip of 30 seconds right after this video showing you how to check grammatically for S and ED and how you can do that quickly in 15-20 seconds to make sure you're not missing it just because you didn't hear it. Because the number one priority in this exam is always grammar. So grammatically, the answer has to be correct. Even if you didn't hear the ER, grammatically, it's your job to check that you have it. And nowadays, there's more and more questions with that. So stay tuned for the extra 20 seconds to see that clip here. Final thing, before we wrap up, I want to say thank you for watching. Now, I promise you, I'm going to give you something that you can download for free. There's no need to pay. There's no need to give me anything. I don't need anything from you. We genuinely want to help you. So if you follow the link here on the screen, somewhere up here or down here, or if you check as well the pinned comment and the description of the video, you'll find a link where you'll go to, where we'll provide you a free PDF with the most commonly repeated words in the listening fill in the blank section. All you need to do is enter your email. We send it directly to your inbox. You can study it. I suggest you print it, you read it, you highlight it, especially words that have difficult spelling. I'll give you one example. Mustache. Okay, the word mustache. Justin doesn't have a mustache. Or Alex's mustache is sweaty because it's hot outside, right? So spell the word mustache in the comments and no cheating, okay? Or the word vernacular, okay? So those are just some examples of difficult words you'll find, and I hope this helps you. And leave a comment with maybe any recent words you had in your exam that you didn't know how to do, or maybe one of these mistakes that you've done in the past without knowing that you might be losing a lot of marks. And stay tuned for the last 20 seconds for the tutorial of how to check the words grammatically for missing S and ED. All right. Let's get into this quick demo as promised, how to check some of these blanks grammatically for missing S, ED, or ING. Because remember, if you make any single mistake, you didn't capitalize a word, you missed an S and ED, you don't get any points for that particular blank. So let's have a look here, for example. And just to give you some context, oftentimes native speakers, they don't emphasize the ED and ING, but they assume it based on the context. So let's suppose that you heard the word class. Okay, I'm still trying to get my head around the choice of class for the optional part. That's how a native speaker oftentimes would say it. Okay, so how you can check if it's a choice, do you have a choice of car or do you have a choice of cars? So if it's a choice, right away grammatically, it has to be one choice among many things. So in this situation, it has to be a choice of classes, right? Let's say you're getting married or you want to find a boyfriend, girlfriend. You have a choice of partner? No, you have a choice of partner. Same idea here. Let's suppose that here you heard the word worry, but I'm a bit worried that I'm going to pigeonhole myself, blah, 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 blah. I'm a bit worried? No. So grammatically, you need to check quickly that it has to be I'm a bit worried, okay? Let's say that you heard here the word presentation. And again, as you know, there are going to be presentation. No, presentations. And here could be anything, so I'm just going to leave this for now. And let's suppose that you heard the word try. Okay, so if you're reading from here, okay, enjoy the chance to undertake some of the work in the area I'm trying to pursue. Again, many native speakers, they will not emphasize that. But if you see I am, so it has to be trying with ing. So moral of this short video, short demo is don't be like a horse, like a racehorse with the blinders. You know, when the horses race, they got these little blinders that they can only look straight forward. So in the exam, we find ourselves the same way. We're so worried and we're so focused just on that one little box. You need to zoom out. You need to expand your perspective a little bit,
Always check grammatically a little bit before and after to make sure you don't run into these kinds of mistakes.
So this is it for this video, guys. It means a lot to us and to our team if you click like right now and you click subscribe. This is how we know that this video was valuable, that it helped you, and especially your comments. I personally read every single comment and reply to as many as I can. And the best news is whenever we share free tips and advice and it works for you and you get your score and we get good news. So leave a comment, like, and I'll see you in the next video.